Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Florida Panthers Den. We are live today on the prowl. Four Nations Faceoff Midway Thoughts, episode 25. I'm your host, Bill. Today, I decided to do something a little bit different, and we went ahead and are doing a live stream. I hope everybody's enjoying that here. So, just kind of want to share my thoughts on what's going on with the tournament here, and we're just going to just kind of jump right into it because I know the game's on at 1 o'clock Eastern, and I want to make sure that everybody has a chance to watch that. So, it's not going to be too prolonged here, but do have some thoughts that I wanted to go ahead and share. Um, and let's go. Four Nations face off midway thoughts. Um, Teams that surprised me, okay, and one of the things that I wanted to talk about with that was I think, especially for me, for Team USA, they have their physical play has just been absolutely phenomenal. I think one of the things that kind of jumped out at me, both the game against Finland and the game against Team Canada, they pretty much, I'm going to say, dominated physical play in both of those games, especially after they got the tying goal against Finland and they just took it to them. And even though the score didn't indicate it, I thought that the effort against Canada, I thought that was a domination as well too. Another team that surprised me was Finland. They're really finding ways to win. I think they do have a good roster. I don't think they compete with the United States, but I do think they have a good roster, and they showed well in their other games. And of course, we'll get to some of the players there. Team Canada kind of surprised me as well too, and the surprise that I get from them is, for me, is their lack of scoring, and it was evident. I mean, in all their games. I mean, the one game had to go to overtime, two games I think, and then their game against Team USA. Now, of course, they ran into Connor Hellebuck for Team USA, who was playing very well, who has been playing very well. He's been playing some fantastic hockey, and I think they have the best goalie in this Four Nations face-off here. But their lack of scoring for Team Canada has really surprised me, and we're going to get, like I said, to the players here in a minute as far as that's concerned. And Team Sweden, they just seem MIA. I don't know where they are. I don't know what's missing with them. I mean, they have some great William Nylander. Carlson still has it, so to speak. Victor Hedman. Have some great players there. I just don't know if it's team chemistry, coaching, what. They just kind of seem to be out of it for some reason, and I don't know why. I wish I could say that I had an answer for that, but I don't. Players that rise to the occasion, of course. I'm going to go with some of the other ones here. I'm going to start off, and I'm not going to start off with Team USA. I'm going to start off with Team Finland, and I'm going to say, four of our Panthers: Barkov, Lundell, Lostarina, and Mikkola. They have just played exceptionally well for Finland. They are doing what they normally do for the Panthers, but they're doing it for their home country. And I thought they played very well. And I really do see the championship game being Team USA against Team Finland. I really do, unless there is a miracle to the contrary. Now, some of the other players, the Kachuk brothers, Brady and Matthew, just you could not ask for more out of either one of them. They were fired up from the get-go, especially that game against Team Canada. And I saw some people out there that said, "Oh, they should have been thrown out." Well, because they agreed to fight right away and everything. This is NHL rules. This isn't international play, so we're going by NHL rules. And it was phenomenal. And it reminds me a lot, and I'll go back to 2009 in the playoffs when the Penguins were playing the Flyers, and they were down, I think, 3-1 in that game. And Max Talbot got into a fight, and I don't know who he fought for the Flyers, but it really sparked the team on. And I remember the announcer saying that was very foolish on the Flyers to get involved in that. And sure enough, the Penguins came back and they won that game. And fighting has its time and its place. And I thought it was done very well. I thought that both Brady and Matthew made an exclamation point, 3 fights in 9 seconds. It was phenomenal. And it really propelled them for the rest of the game. And it really set the tone for that game. So kudos to both of the Kachucks for doing that. Jake Gensel, um, he continues to be an incredible player. He's one of those ones that always seems under the radar. When he was with Penguins, when he was with Carolina, and now he's with Tampa, always kind of seems under the radar. People don't talk about him a lot, but boy, he has a net front presence, and boy, he does get a lot of goals. And he played very well on Saturday. Jack Hughes also is worth mentioning for the way he played his first 2 games. And Connor Hellebuck, I mean, there's a reason he's won the Vezina, and Team USA has the best goaltender in the tournament. He was I thought, absolutely fantastic in those 2 games. And I also wanted to mention too, Jacob Slavin. His defensive play was just out of this world, especially against Team Canada. Could not have asked for anything more out of him. And of course, Larkin, and scoring those goals. So I mean, just all in all, that was just absolutely what I thought was fantastic hockey from them. Now, players that have been quiet, and one of the ones most notably for me is Sam Reinhart. Reinhart seemed very much MIA. I mean, the announcers aren't even calling his name, and it's really, and for that matter, as a matter of fact, the whole Team Canada, their scoring touch. McDavid's only had 1 goal. Crosby has been shut down. Some of the other players have just totally been shut down. And I'm going to go ahead and restart my some of their players have just totally been shot down, and I don't get it, and I don't understand, a whole lot of. Now, conversely, Bennett has been involved from a physical standpoint, and you've seen him, and he got, of course, very engaged in the game against Team USA. So that was a plus to see. And one of the other things that I did see, and I've seen a lot of comments, a lot of people were thinking that it was moves by John Cooper that cost Team Canada the game. No, it did not. He made some great moves. Could he have made some better ones? Probably. Any coach can always second guess himself. But it was Team USA was domineering physically from the drop of that first puck to the final whistle. They dominated that game. That score did not indicate that as well. And to me, just all of Team Sweden, they've just seemed MIA. I don't know where they are. I don't know what's going on with them. I don't have any other thoughts about that. They just have not seemed well, and whether that's that's a coaching kind of perspective, I don't know, but I just think they have just been not there for some reason, one reason or another. And some final thoughts here regarding this, because I know 1:00's coming up, and I know a lot of people want to watch the game. The first one is, okay, booing has no place here. And even the PA announcer at the Bell Center told the crowd not to boo, and they still did. And this isn't about politics. This is about hockey. And let's keep it to that. Let's not make this a political statement. Let's stand behind our teams, okay? Cheer for your teams, okay? Canadians, absolutely cheer for Team Canada. People from, in the USA, cheer for Team USA. Don't boo national anthems. It's respect them. And that's all that I want to say about that. As far as tonight is concerned, it looks like Matthew Tkachuk will be sitting out tonight, which makes a whole lot of sense. And it looked like a lower body injury on Saturday. They really didn't talk about that. Alexander Barkov looked like, I think he was hit in the ankle at the game on Saturday. I don't know his status for today. We'll see on that. But I'm also thinking too long-term for the Panthers on whether or not, they're going to be able to go full tilt when they come back. I mean, it's at a good point in the season. If they need to each take a week off, I think they can do that. I don't think, especially, hearing what Matthew had to say after the game on Saturday, I don't think his injury is very serious. It could be a slight groin pull or something along those lines, because he did try to go out and skate and he wasn't able to do it. So he just went back and sat on the bench. And kudos to him. He sat on the bench because he wanted to support his team. And a lot of credit for that. And again, I'm not sure about Barkov, but I hope, again, in the same instance, I hope he's not, gonna be long gone, if at all, because he was able to continue playing in that game. So we'll kind of see things here. And I want to try something different here, something new with this podcast. And we're doing a live stream. I won't do these very often, but I wanted to do it just to go ahead and get this out there, and because I didn't have time over the weekend to get something together, but I wanted to share some thoughts about midway through the Four Nations Faceoff. And we're going to have next Monday, we're going to go ahead and have some final closing thoughts on the Four Nations Faceoff. And then also the last half of the season, we're going to take a look at that and see where things are for the Panthers and how they stack up in the playoffs. And also too, if Bill Zito is going to be active, because March 7th is quickly approaching, and that's a trade deadline. And whether or not he does something, we don't know. And of course, they really couldn't do anything during the Four Nations face-off tournament here until it's over. And remember, Bill Zito's assistant general manager for Team USA. So all in all, also too, I wanted to comment. I thought Mike Sullivan's doing a fantastic job with Team USA. His line combinations, his switching things up. He's still a very good coach. Unfortunately, his team, the Penguins, he doesn't have a lot to work with right now. But it did show to me that he's still a good coach. John Cooper's a great coach as well too. And people that were ragging on him, especially Canadians, I think you need to back off on him. I think he's done well by his team. He's a great coach. He's made some good moves. He's probably could have made some other ones, but that's how hockey is, and that's how things are. So just going to wrap things up for today. The Four Nations tournament's on at 1:00. Team Canada's on. So against Team Finland. And it's going to be very interesting because it's almost a rematch of Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals with Alexander Barkov and company against Connor McDavid here. So we'll see how things go. So that wraps it for today. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. As always, it's a great day for hockey. Time to hunt.